All right, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, Shawn Porter gave an interview about a week or so ago and was asked about Jaron Ennis. And he said, Shawn Porter, that he didn't want any smoke with Jaron Ennis, and he thought that Jaron Ennis was the best of the bunch and very well might beat everybody at 147 pounds right now, including Terence, Bud, Crawford, and Errol Spence. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back, welcome back. So it's not often that I get to do these type of videos. One where I tell you about a fighter, something that was said about a fighter that I believe at this point, the fighter might actually be for real a once in a lifetime or once in a generation type of fighter. And that is Jaron Boots Ennis out of the city of Philadelphia. When Shawn Porter was asked, what do you think about Jaron Boots Ennis? His eyes opened up and he was very clear. I don't want to fight that dude. If he beats up everybody else and I wind up getting in a position where I have to fight him, then maybe I'll fight him. But his whole tone was like, that is a young gun. That is not my problem. Those whoopings are for Virgil Ortiz. Those whoopings are for somebody not named Shawn Porter. The respect and just the attitude that he had about Jaron Ennis made me feel much more comfortable about what I believe about Jaron Ennis, and that is that Jaron Ennis is, in my opinion, potentially a once in a lifetime or once at the minimum a once in a generation type of fighter, like Floyd Mayweather Jr., like a Sugar Ray Leonard, like a Roy Jones Jr., like, dare I say, somebody like a Sugar Ray Robinson or a Henry Armstrong. Now, obviously, those two guys, not a lot of people got to see them when they were young, and they are just elevated to a whole nother level. But coming out of the great state of Pennsylvania, in the fight city of Philadelphia, with the style that he has and the competition that I know he's faced in those gyms, being just eyeball tests so much better than the guys like J-Rock and Danny Garcia and pretty much everybody else that I've seen come out of Philly since Bernard Hopkins, and including Bernard Hopkins, Jaron Ennis looks like that dude. So when Shawn Porter says he wants no smoke, that doesn't surprise me at all. There's going to be several other people that are going to want no smoke with Jaron Ennis. And I'm going to tell you who those people are, because those are the people that I believe right now Jaron Ennis will beat. With some problems, because he's less experienced and they are legitimately top fighters, so they're going to have some wrinkles. But no, dog. I do not believe that they are going to be, eyeball test, I don't believe it. Keith Thurman, I don't believe Keith Thurman can beat Jaron Ennis. Not now, and definitely not in 6 months or a year. Danny Garcia, I do not believe Danny Garcia can beat Jaron Ennis right now. I don't believe definitely he'll be able to touch that dude in a year. Shawn Porter, maybe Shawn Porter can get him right now, and that is a maybe because of the rough styling and all that. But you give it a year, oh, but no. Jaron will get him too, in my opinion. Yordenis Ugas, who I think is a realistic next fight for Jaron Ennis in a step he should take, is going to get, I think Jaron Ennis is going to get rid of Yordenis Ugas. If not right now, definitely in a year. Because Jaron Ennis is what, 21, 22? He is one of these dudes that are really fighting at a young age, dude. He's not a guy that is developing later on in his career. He is a really big 147 pounder. He looks extremely disciplined. If he has a chin, he's going to be problems on anybody, dude. But here's the thing about Bud Crawford, because one of the guys that I think he'll beat or has a very good chance of beating right now is Terence Crawford. And let me tell you why. Jaron Ennis is bigger than Terence Crawford by a good bit. He is longer than Terence Crawford, I do believe, by a good bit. I believe he hits harder than Terence Crawford. I believe he's technically more sound than Terence Crawford. I think he's defensively more responsible than Terence Crawford. And I don't think that he is afraid of Terence Crawford at all. And I think that if Terence Crawford fights him, and he's going to, again, just like a situation with Kell Brook, he's going to be down 4 rounds to nothing because he's going to be trying to figure out Jaron Ennis while Jaron Ennis is hitting him with jabs and straight right hands. And then when Terence Crawford tries to step to him, that would honestly be the hope that Terence Crawford has, that as Terence Crawford tries to start stepping to him, he can hit Jaron Ennis with some big things and wobble the young man and get him out of there. But with Jaron Ennis, I just do not believe that that's going to happen, dude. His upper body movement, his ability to slip punches when he's standing right there, I just don't see it, man. I think that he has just got – there's nothing that I've seen Terence Crawford in the ring with that looks anything like Jaron Ennis. And everybody that Terence Crawford has fought is going to get knocked out by Jaron Ennis for sure, including Jeff Horn for sure, Jose Benavidez for sure, Amir Khan for sure, Kell Brook for sure. And actually, that would have been a really good fight for Jaron Ennis. But not a fight that Jaron Ennis is going to be able to get, right? A guy like an Amir Khan fed to him so he can demolish Amir Khan. He's not going to get that. Get him fed somebody like a Kell Brook so he can demolish Kell Brook. And like, oh, look what he did to Kell Brook. He's not going to get that. What Jaron Ennis is going to have to do, because he's not with Top Rank and he's not going to get, or he's not with Golden Boy, he's not going to get all of these big accolades and people telling you how good he is. What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to chase around everybody that the other big guys beat and knock them out and put them in a position where they have to fight him. But in that process is where I believe the greatness of Jaron Ennis will actually grow. The fact that he is going to have to take the Bernard Hopkins route, the fact that he is going to have to take the Money Mayweather route and not the Pretty Boy Floyd route to get where he's going to get when he gets all the way developed and all the way full, all the way set, I think he's just going to be a completely different level of fighter because he's going to be forced to go through tough competitions to even get a chance. He's not going to be Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, who's a very solid fighter, is going to get a championship shot at a belt before Jaron Ennis is. And he's going to get praised before Jaron Ennis is. Even though the fact that these guys are the same age, right? Roughly the same age, around the same level of experience, you watch. The entire time that Virgil Ortiz was being pushed this year and last year, I heard almost nothing about Jaron Ennis. Now, Jaron Ennis was in some promotional issues where he had an original promoter and then Cameron Duncan changed from his manager to a promoter. But now hopefully they've worked that out and Jaron Ennis is able to fight on cards and do all that. But don't expect to see Jaron Ennis be like Monster Inoue, right? Where he 4 years before you ever see him fight, he's in the top 10 pound for pound because ESPN is trying to tell you how good he is, or Ring Magazine is trying to tell you how good he is. You're going to have to discover how good Jaron Ennis is. And when you watch Jaron Ennis, I promise you will discover it. And Terence Crawford, as good as Terence Crawford is not Jaron Ennis in my eyes. I just do not see those guys as equally skilled or equally talented. And here's another big thing. The one thing that I got about Virgil Ortiz, about Jaron Ennis that I do not know about yet is his chin. And that's the big thing that worries me. Similar to like Marcus Brown at 175 pounds. Marcus Brown at 175 pounds, if he has a chin, can beat everybody at 175 pounds. That and the fact that he needs to learn how to get out of the way of a wild overhand right. Like he just kept getting hit with the same punch over and over and over again, and he has, a little bit of a shaky chin. If Jaron Ennis, I don't see Jaron Ennis getting hit by shots like just the same overhand right over and over and over again, like Marcus Brown was getting hit with by God dog, what's my name out of France, man? Not Lucien Boutte. Jean Pascal. The John Pascal's just bop, just hitting them all from up top. I guess is he a southpaw? Yeah, hitting them all from up here, right? Hitting all up here, not even straight punches, all up here, just landing, bop, Bop on Marcus Brown. If Jaron Ennis doesn't have one of those type of problems with that build, with that lanky build and the skill sets, he can dominate 147, he can dominate 154, and he can dominate 160 pounds. The question will be, will the boxing powers that be allow him to do so in a fashion that lets people all around the boxing world know how good he really is? Because everybody knows how good Terence Crawford is, but that is not translated into ESPN giving him his respect, or Ring Magazine giving him his respect, or Bob Arum, even Bob Arum, his own promoter, giving him his respect, because that's not how they want the next great champion to look. They want the next great champion to look like Josh Taylor. They want the next great champion to look like Tyson Fury. They want the next great champion to look any other way other than Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., and a Jaron Ennis. But believe you me, from what I can see, you're going to have to deal with Jaron Ennis being the best in boxing, because he's the one that's standing out to me that could be the next for real, no doubt about it, #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And I believe that if he got the opportunity with the Terence Crawford fight within the next year, that would be the end of Terence Crawford as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And I do believe that Jaron Ennis and his camp believes the same thing. But that's my take on the matter. You let me know yours. And with that, I'm out. Peace.